£6.50. Let me just repeat that one more time, just to let that sink in. £6.50 for a pint. For a pint.
Where?
A pint of Guinness. Not going to name the establishment by name, but it rhymes with Schmalgorm.
Here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack. Welcome back, talking shit, I'm drinking wine, like and subscribe. Here's the crack.
Welcome back to another episode of the Here's Your Crack podcast.
Wow.
Episode, who knows now?
Headphone users
We're past
beware.
100, so there's no pint counting.
Mr. Flippin'.
Just faves.
I don't understand why you say the episode number. Like, no one cares.
I would have bring that up because you always used to do it.
And now you're doing
I'm
it.
so silly.
And I will never do it.
We asked
Shay,
Shay to intro the podcast like
Shay.
4 times and he said no.
you didn't intro the
Too good.
podcast, but
Hello everybody, welcome back to Here's Crack Podcast.
what are we telling the people?
Fuck yous.
Yeah, if you haven't subscribed, followed, liked, shared,
Can't do everything.
commented, go do it.
Just do it.
What are you doing? Just go do it. I
What
think
are
we
you
just go over the same
If you
thing.
haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel or Spotify or Apple Music, get on it right now.
Apple
It needs to be
Podcasts.
done. Apple Podcasts. See, this is why I don't do things.
Do it! Just do it!
Just do it.
Thanks.
Thanks, but listen here.
Here.
Like we'll start off. If you haven't already, if you don't predict what's coming now, you're an idiot.
Your mum.
Your mom's up. Let's roll it. Tommy's question time intro.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the greatest show on earth.
It's Tommy's question time.
What do you think about the whole toxic masculinity discussion that's going on at the minute?
What do you mean this?
Elaborate.
What do you mean this
like,
is going on?
obviously,
at the minute?
Andrew Tate's came on the scene, and now there's like a lot of people talking about it.
Top G.
Not even, but like it's the whole like guys being like, I just want to provide for my woman. I just want her to stay at home, look after the kids. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But some women, I feel like, I'm not speaking for women, but
Sounds like you are.
you have to be careful here. But I'd say some women would want that. Like,
Each their own. Some dudes would be happy enough to stay at home and look after kids and look after the house and
Some dudes.
yeah, it doesn't even have to be kids. Like, just be provided for. I wouldn't mind being provided for. Like.
I think we've came a long way. Andrew Tate is a bit of an anomaly because he's pushing this sort of narrative that if that's your case, you're not a man. If that makes sense. And I feel like we've came a long way in this day and age where realistically, if your situation changed in your life, where say you and Aoife are living together and a child comes along the way and you look at it and go, Aoife can't not work because she brings in the most money or whatever, or say if your circumstances was Aoife brings in a lot more money, I would like to think that you probably wouldn't want to do it because by knowing you, I know you'd still want to work. I think you'd go insane if you had to stay at home. But if you were backed in a corner, I think there would be no shame in you saying, I'm staying at home to look after this child because it makes the most sense. It's not like I don't think it's making you any, if anything, I think it makes you more of a strong character because you've made the decision that's right for you and quote unquote your family.
Yeah.
Just discuss that side of things.
Well, I think I get it when it comes to like having kids and stuff because like I think that's something you don't really realise now though. You get to this age and you're like talking to people who have kids and all, and they're saying about the whole childcare thing, like the cost of childcare and the cost of people minding kids, because I think
mad.
like there is people in a position where like they have like parents and stuff who are older and like grandparents who can like help out with the kids, but like if you don't have that,
Yeah,
it's a lot of fucking money. Like
there's a decision because inevitably a lot of couples are backed into a corner then where effectively one person in that relationship is working for someone else to look after the child.
yeah,
It's just that is it. Like.
it's a lot of pressure though. Like that's my only thing with it. Like,
Yeah.
that's the way I think of it now. Is like it's a lot of pressure on that one person to like provide for the family. But
Yeah.
like if people can do it, like,
Yeah.
I suppose it's just each to their own type of thing.
But would you even, like, on your point there, you said, say, she was making more money than me. What if to flip it on its head, she hated her job and I loved my job, but she was making more and I was making less. Is it okay for me to stay on the job that I love?
Then you
even though I'm
probably
not
look
making
at it and think, could like, I'm taking Aoife and you as an example here, but like, say, could Aoife drop down to part-time hours, and same with you?
I mean, does she not have to quit?
What?
Why does
But
she not have to
no,
quit?
but I'm saying in that instance, like, we're maybe getting a bit off track here, but like at the same time, you'd have to make the decision that's right financially. Like it's not a case of like, oh, we'll just do what I feel it's right doing, and then we can't pay the mortgage or we can't pay the rent or whatever. We can't afford to feed this child.
Yeah.
You're always gonna, that natural instinct of, survival basically is going to kick in, and you'll make the right decision that's right for you.
Sort of get it. I can see it from the point of view of like if you were having kids,
Yeah.
like I said, on the cost of childcare and stuff. I don't really get it if like it's just one person's working and one's not. Because I could, if it was me, like having to sit in the house all the time and doing nothing. Like, do you know what I mean? Your head would be wrecked.
I think you need to reevaluate your relationship though. If like your partner's turning around and being like, you know what, I want you to stay at home. Like there's some people who would love that. Like, if Brona turned around and said, you know what, Thomas, you stay at home and I'll provide. You would be like, for the first while, class, I get to go play golf during the day. But after a while, like there's nothing to challenge you. You'd be bored. You would most likely try and start your own business.
Probably.
Yeah. But it's more so being put out of a choice. Like what you're saying there, like it's a mutual decision between the two of you. Whenever you say someone stays on because they're making more money or whatever, like it's agreed between both of you. I think the toxic masculinity aspect of it is more so the man needs to work, and the woman needs to stay at home.
Yeah.
So it's a bit.
I think that's the thing as well. Like that's the sort of conversation I've been seeing online. Is like there's people now that are like I want to be with a woman that wants to stay at home and like wants me to look after, and it's like I think it was like like Emma Ghazi, and there's like a few like YouTubers I got were saying it, and like I don't like obviously go out and have hobbies and do stuff like that, but like I want you to be there whenever I'm free. Like when I want to go out for dinner with you, you have to be free type of thing. But then I'm sort of like I think that's a bit fucked. Like, but then I think the way. Like they're obviously all fucking like loaded and millionaires, like, and I think it's the way they see it is like they can afford to give them such a good life. Is like, why would they want to work? Whereas like,
but then in that aspect, you could look at it and be like, her job is to be with him, and he gives her money just to do that.
But then that's not a relationship. That's you being the opposite person as your.
There might be people who want that.
Don't get me wrong. There'd be people who'd love that.
Yeah. You see, like TikTok, so like. There's always TikTok, like, but you see, like, there is women you hear being like, I want a man who can look after me and stuff, and like, so there obviously is like people out there who that's what they want, which I suppose is fair enough. But like, it's just from my point of view, I'm sort of like, I don't really like, I don't get it. I don't think it's, well, I suppose this is just my opinion, but like, I don't think it's a fair for if there was women that were like, I just want a man who's going to look after me and I'm just going to stay at home and be treated like a queen type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a bit like, do you know what I mean?
That's a bit weird.
But then you flip it and it's like, if there's guys being like, oh, I want a woman just to stay at home and be there whenever I need her, and I'm going to pay for everything.
I suppose it is a kind of difference, whatever floats your boat. It literally is that, because I know for me, and I would say both of you are the same, I would hate to be in a relationship with someone who had no ambition.
Yeah.
And, it's one of them things like where you love to see whoever you're with doing well and like really wanting to like, it's the same thing as, I think there is an essence of truth in that your boy Stephen Bartlett said about it. Like, if I'm in a relationship with you, I want to be your second priority. Your number one priority should be you. Like, there's no question about it. And I would even go as far as saying, in like all our relationships, like we're all pretty friendly outside of this podcast as a group, and even the girls are friendly. And I would say that's a conversation that's come up, is like, Ethan knows exactly what you want to be doing with your life, where you want to go, and your passion and your drives. Brona knows yours,
yeah.
And I suppose it's just being in tune with all that. And yeah, I think it's a good question to ask, though. I just couldn't imagine that that's how people.
I don't think there's many people in a position that could do it, though. Like, I think it's like, it's all right, like, seeing these people who are like loaded and saying it, and you're like, well, obviously, like, you can afford to fucking do that. Like, but if it's like just a normal like the likes of us.
Yeah.
Like, could you afford to be like to listen to like you're obviously getting married now? Could you be like you can just stay at home and I'm gonna pay for everything?
Yeah, I think it's a weird one because like it depends on the circumstance. Where if I was a pure multi-millionaire and able to give her like work from home and like work whenever I want it and be able to be like, I'm going to take you on big cruises and travel the world, well then like that would be probably more appealing to her than me being like just this douchebag who was like, oh, you stay at home.
Yeah.
What are you going to do at home?
Yeah.
But it takes money out of the money aspect out of things.
Yeah.
Like.
But I feel like
It's like a lot of people work for money. Like if that's taken out of the aspect, then like if you're not doing a job you love, like is there really any point in them working? Like?
But I think apparently there's like studies as well to show that like kids develop better from having like a parent at home with them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So
yeah,
that's just a weird one.
I think what you're kind of getting into there is like more what we were talking about at the start, and depending on your circumstances, where there is no shame. I think the lines are kind of being blurred with this whole toxic masculinity thing, where it's like, oh well, you're the man in the relationship, so if a child comes, surely you'd have to be the one that goes out to work. No, that's not the case. Like.
But that's
just what we've been brought up.
But then you think years ago, like that's the way it was. Like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've been brought up to. Like I said, you're the man. You provide for your family. You provide like this different now. We've came a long way.
Whereas now it's like everyone wants. I feel like our generation is a lot more focused on having a career and like wanting to make money and wanting to like sort of make a name for themselves.
Yeah, and then people will most likely not have kids.
Yeah, but like even now, like most of our mates aren't having kids. Like whereas like I'd say like 10, 20 years ago, most of your mates probably were married by now and had a few kids. Like.
Yeah, well that was the thing. That's like. Everybody, I feel like now we enjoy, this sounds so philosophical, but like I feel like back 10, 15 years ago, people had a playbook of life and it was always the destination, whereas I feel like our generation are more interested in a different destination, but the journey in terms of like spending these next couple of years really working your ass off, climbing to the top of this corporate ladder and basically being able to go, I'm not taking any crap from anybody. I want to make a name for myself. I want to run my own business, or I want to be the head of this company.
Yeah. And
like we kind of are more selfish in a way.
That's what they say. Like you're more selfish now. Like.
Yeah, but I think it is a problem too, this whole toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Like masculinity can be masculinity without being toxic.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people, a lot of men are afraid to be masculine now.
Yeah.
Like I'm not speaking from facts here or anything, but a lot of women are attracted to masculine men.
Yeah.
So like if men are told masculinity is toxic, like where do you go from there really? Like should all men act feminine or what?
Yeah, and it goes back to that conversation that goes back to that conversation we had about like first dates, who's paying.
Yeah,
it's almost like that thing now where I feel like if you went out on a date, like imagine going out on a date and say asking a girl out on a date, and then you get there and you go to pay and she's like, oh, he give me the ick because he paid, he must think I can't support myself or something. I'd be like, but that's just what we've been brought up to. You know what I mean?
So even kids growing up now, like the likes of boys now, like teenagers, seeing all the shit we see, like they're probably going on dates thinking, oh, is she going to take this the wrong way if I pay for this? Do you know? Like stupid things like that.
Yeah,
like we've seen both sides of it, like before it and now during it. Like,
yeah.
Whereas there's a lot of kids growing up just during all they know is like toxic masculinity, and they shouldn't pay for meals and all that there. But like at the same time too, I think it's sort of a human nature sort of thing as well, because like I know this might be a stupid example, but like parrots like flash their feathers to like male parrots like flash their feathers at like female parrots to attract them.
Yeah.
But like whenever you go out on a date with someone, like you want to impress them. Like.
Yeah.
So like that's one way of impressing them, like
flashing your feathers, flashing your cash.
Yeah, exactly. Like it is one way. Maybe it's not the best way, but it's the way that people know, and it's quite simple to do. Like,
yeah.
You need that, like, to attract. Yeah. I'm not saying you have to pay for someone's meal, but you need a way to attract someone. Like.
I fully believe when it comes to this stuff, people just, unless you're completely ridiculous and coming out with completely ridiculous statements like, oh, like I see them as my property or whatever, like that's just ridiculous. But at the same time, I do think we need to be slightly, we need to be aware of like, it's going to take a while for people to get used to the way the new sort of way works, because we're so used to like the old way, if that makes sense. So yeah. He's away. Good topic discussion. Nice Tommy's question time. we'll wait until he gets the food and then we'll come back for the main topic. All right, guys, welcome back again to the podcast. Took a wee short break there because our food delivery came and Thomas decided to put my Fanta all over the floor.
McDonald's deliveries are a fucking disaster.
I actually
Always.
I've never saw you. You were like, I didn't see anybody else getting up to get it. We couldn't have. You flipping.
Fucking.
That was like
These were in the middle.
you could have been in the Olympics for that.
These
There.
are in the middle of speaking. I didn't
Never
want to cut
heard
these
you
off.
move as quick in your life.
I didn't even
never
think you
seen
were
you
going to
move.
open the door. I thought you were going to go through it.
I'm surprised you just didn't go straight out the window. Here, lad, throw that up there.
Dave out the window. Dave.
Anyway, we'll get into the main topic this week. So the main topic.
What's the main topic this week,
we
Ross?
want to discuss is this trend that's going around on TikTok called "Good Night to People," and I'll play a wee clip here to sort of show you because I've seen this guy this week on TikTok and I thought it's some good examples.
Oh no. Nice.
Fucking stop that.
We're going again.
Take two. Let's just let that sink in.
Disgusting. I still love Canterbury's. I
Do you?
actually could not find my tracksuit bottoms coming up here. Searched the whole house for them at dinner time.
You about to wear Canterbury's up here now?
I had
to
a pair of shorts. I was like, I can't wear shorts in this angle because you're gonna see my fucking balls.
The goods out.
But I was looking about, and I was very fucking near wearing a pair of Canterbury's
my
up here because I
day.
couldn't find anything else.
That would have been so
Ironic.
But anyway, yeah, so I thought we could discuss this on the podcast.
Of course we can.
So good night to everybody, but I think the general theme is like good night, but if you do this, don't have a good night. I hope you don't sleep.
Thanks for explaining that.
I don't understand why your
Do you want to
man's
look up the definition of a good night?
I don't say why your man's being like, oh, good night to your Europa bus station. It's not a person. But anyway, I think it's just in general things that you dislike.
Yeah.
So let's just we've put together a list, a master document. Here's the crack. Good night to everybody. But so if you're part of the but, it's game over. I'll call you out in the podcast.
You're not. Here's your card.
Please don't make a series on us.
Can't leave 'em alone.
calling
No,
us out. No,
leave us
please
alone.
don't. We don't want the smoke. So Thomas, let's start off with a few of yours. Maybe just we'll not do all of yours. We'll just kind of go
Don't
one
have to
each.
say good night out to everybody, but every time.
No, just
I feel like you want to.
No. People who have too many buttons open on the shirt,
seen that one too many times.
like where the belly button's near out. Like, do you know what I mean?
The belly button.
It's become a status thing though. Like,
Obviously, we're talking about dudes here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
depending on how many buttons you have down on your shirt, is how much land you own. Like.
Yeah.
For every button
Is
is
it the
50
same up in
acres.
Ballamino?
100%.
How many lands do you
I-
land?
How many lands do you possess?
I've seen boys
Buttons.
out with 2 buttons.
Like at the bottom? And
Yeah.
what their whole like
Not 2 buttons undone, 2 buttons done.
done?
That's
Done.
honestly,
Flip
that's the
me.
way it's
That-
going. Like.
No joke.
Boys, it's November. It's fucking cold out there. Get real. Throw a
right.
jumper on. Come on.
Throw a woolly hat.
And you know
on
the way
the-
you see the boys who wear like the proper tank shirts and the wee jumper over it? They
Yeah.
have the shirt unbuttoned under the
Yeah.
jumper.
It's just a collar.
never know.
Do you know,
It's
the
it's
whole
just a
thing cut
collar.
up, like.
They've just a wee
If they
tag
take a woman home and they take the jumper off and they've all the shirts unbuttoned, they'll be like, this boy's clearly not playing with a few eggers.
I was out the other night and I actually seen this, and the lad had the fucking hairiest chest I have ever seen in my life. Like,
Right?
but like, why is it that they always have?
Did you feel
proper-
intimidated?
Yeah, I can't go.
But do you
chest
not,
hair like that.
do you
like.
not feel like it's the thing showing off the chest hair? Like?
Yeah, that's
Like,
what it is.
I'm
Like.
That's a
bushier,
masculine
I'm
thing.
bushier than you. Like.
A gold chain too. Like.
Yeah.
But you
Just
can't
call it,
see
like,
the gold chain because all the hair so it's nestled in there.
It's
like.
either stuck in the hair or it's rested on the hair like a pillow. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sitting
Like
on top of
he's
it.
had to pull that out and set it on.
It's fucking disgusting.
That's an interesting one. I feel like it's very niche towards a certain demographic who
Do
are
you
present.
think?
in
But it's
Northern
not
Ireland.
even just hangs anymore. Like
Yeah.
you get in the city boys as well.
Oh
like.
yeah, yeah.
Really?
With the big
Yeah.
flannel shirts, like the
Yeah.
big flannel shirts that are all like,
Oh, but they be open. Though.
oversized. Do
I
you
know,
what I mean?
fucking too open.
Oh, but they be open because you wear something
No,
underneath
yeah,
it. Like,
but some boys don't.
no, that's just.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
they have the chest and all shaved, and they've clearly spent 9 minutes in the bed before
Would
they
you
went
rather
out.
90 minutes? Or
90 minutes.
Would you rather your boys with the hairy chest and the shirts open, one of the boys.
The boys with the hairy chest. Like, I just
They're
feel
real, man.
Yeah.
A few acres at home.
Exactly. Like,
There's a culture there.
You've your buttons undone for a reason.
You've earned that status. Though.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But I remember going out and like to like out with Brona's family and stuff, to like family parties and shit.
Did her dad arrive with a shirt
her dad
unbuttoned and you were
wouldn't be
like,
She just grabbed you by the shirt and goes, ripped it open.
you're no son-in-law of mine.
Get that thing open there, you
Get
buy
that third button undone.
Her
You're
dad,
like,
her dad wouldn't have been like that, but there would have been some of his mates like slagging me for wearing ripped jeans. Back when ripped jeans were a thing, and you're looking at them and you're like, fuck me.
yeah.
Slagging
I
them
don't
for
feel.
insurance.
I feel like it's a case of like the likes of us will take the piss out of like people who like, for example, have other shirts unbuttoned the whole way, or like wear like brown shoes everywhere.
Yeah.
Whereas then the other side of it is people would take the piss out of the likes of us for say, oh, your ripped jeans or oh, ankle socks is a big
Or
one.
like cargos or like
Yeah.
baggy clothes.
Yeah, baggy clothes are coming back. It's just a fact.
What's the thought process though
Baggy
of going out
clothes
like
are
that?
back, like.
I suppose it's just like, I mean, wear what you're comfortable with. Like if you look in the mirror, right? I would never deter a man from looking in the mirror and going, you know what, a few buttons out tonight, I look good. Go out and pull, son. Do you know what I mean?
You go, girl.
You go on, you do your thing, lah. If you feel confident in your own appearance, rip and tear on. Do not let me, tell you any different. Like Thomas is the same. Thomas sticks a pair of New Balance 550s on, a pair of wee cream cargos, and he's like, I look good tonight.
Do you know what annoys me?
You look
I mean?
like a snake.
People who wear fucking black socks with tracksuit bottoms.
Why?
It's just blasphemy. Like. You just can't wear
You
black
wear-
What
socks.
Shay has basically said there to you is he wishes you not a good night.
Or vice versa. People who wear
So if
white
you-
socks with like a suit, trouser, and a shoe.
Yes.
On a shoe.
That is desperate. Eh?
Desperate.
One of
What's
mine.
yours, go?
One of mine was, and I experienced this not too long ago. We were out on a night out. It's like, do you ever get that feeling? You ever get that? And it's particular for over here, where people almost like when they meet you at first, there's certain people who need to like very quickly suss out where you're from, but more importantly, what side of the fence you're on.
Yeah.
In terms of like, this happened twice at your engagement party. I feel like everybody in the pub was like, where are you from? And I was like, Ballymena. And they're like, what part? And I'm like, you're getting granular
The
here.
Protestant
Like,
part.
you basically want me to say I'm a prod.
Just
And
go and
let's
say
just
it.
get this open in the air. But one that actually shocked me was the other night we were all out on a work do, and we were walking back to, one of the fellas was driving, he'd parked his car near the Ulster University in Belfast, and we're walking back, and this fella, he must have been like 19 or 20, but he came up and started talking to me and one of the fellas I work with and stuff, and I swear he's talking, after about 5 minutes he turned around and goes, lads, he's Protestant or Catholic? And we were like, yeah, and we were like, get away
I couldn't
from
believe
me,
that when you told me that.
like,
Was it a dodgy area? Like, was it a
no,
dodgy
it was near
suburb?
Ulster University in Belfast. It was just
Oh,
on the
right.
street.
Yeah.
We were just walking back to the car. Like, I think Aaron had parked near there, like just swung the car into a space. And we had just met him, and he'd been walking with us for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, like, just randomly, like, the conversation went kind of dry. Like, do you know whenever you meet someone on a night out and you've had a few drinks and stuff and you're kind of just having the crack? The next minute just went, like, kind of awkward silence. And we were getting ready to, like, walk away. And he was like, well, lads, he's Protestant or Catholic? And we were like,
What'd you say?
I can't even remember. I think I joked about it and I was like, oh, we're neither. He was just like, oh, well, you have to be one. And I was like, what if you...
You're
what if
not allowed to not
Like,
believe
do you
in
know,
God.
do you know what I mean? Like,
How dare you?
so that's one of mine. Shay.
Oh shit! Fucking close my phone. YouTube videos that have millions of views, but aren't what the title says they are.
Oh, like
That's a
clickbait.
good one.
Just clickbait. You go into it, and especially whenever it sort of leads you into thinking it is going to be what it is at the start of the video, so you actually like indulge yourself in it, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm waiting for the moment," and then you watch the whole like 10 minutes, and it's like, "Why the fuck did I watch that?" Like?
Yeah.
But it's still got millions of views, so other people have fell for the trap, and somehow millions of people are falling for the trap.
I feel like there's a good art to it though, but people kind of take the piss.
Yeah.
Like the whole like getting my mum her dream car, and it's just like they've just rented it for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's a bit misleading. But there's other stuff as well where it's like convincing my parents I've got married,
Yeah.
all that there stuff. Like.
Yeah.
Would you? What's the big? Is there any ones that you've been really caught out by?
A few of them ones was like, I bought my mum a dream car and they have rented it. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen a few of them. It's really fucking annoying. Like, but like they don't even pretend, like, try and lead you into thinking they are buying it. Like, it's just like I rented it.
You could probably relate to this. I really love the YouTube videos where it's like the ghost hunting ones, like Joe Weller's ones, where he's like going out and like ghost hunting, like going to places, and but in the title it's like the scariest haunted mansion ever. And it's just like them walking around being like, are there any ghosts in here?
No.
And then it's like a couple of seconds of silence, and then someone lets out like a wee fart or something. They're like, what was that?
But you keep watching it and you think there might be some point in this where there actually is a ghost, but then you watch the whole thing and there's
I feel like the worst thing you could do now is say to people, watch to the end, because immediately I go, I've watched to the end.
Just skip it.
What was another one of yours, Tommy?
These start a side hustle TikToks on.
Okay.
Be like, if you want to make £10,000 a month,
Yeah.
start this side hustle.
Yeah.
It's always the stupidest shit. Huh?
I watched one the other day and I actually heard that line at the start of it and I just fired my phone away. I was like, fuck off. Like.
That's all I see now.
I hate the ones where like, if you want to start a side hustle, if you want to make £10,000 this month or $10,000, you just got to follow these easy steps. And then it cuts and they're like, I'm in Target at the minute, and as you can see, I'm beside this basket of Crayola pencils. They're on sale at the moment for $4. I looked on eBay, I can sell them for $5. If I buy 20 of these, I can make $20. And you're like, who could be asked? Who could be asked? Like,
Yeah.
for the sake of $20. Like.
You've taken the whole supply out of the shop, so like, that's you done. Like.
And it probably costs you about a tenner in fuel.
And it's always like, oh, there's no reason why you couldn't be making £10,000 a month, or like, why are you not making £10,000 a month? Like, there's no excuse, and it's always like 10 grand or like 15 grand. And you're like, I know, bala.
Yeah. What are you doing with your evenings, bar? Just sitting watching TV.
Always,
you could be out dumpster diving in Tesco.
It's like start up his Pinterest page and like fucking take products.
I do think though there is some element in like the whole drop shipping thing, like where you could do that at home. I just don't get these like dumpster dive / like charity shop hauls.
I know, but the
It's
drop
just
shipping
like,
thing's it's not as easy as you think as well. It's because of like delivery times.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, oh, AliExpress, but like you can't just drop ship from AliExpress because the delivery times from like China could be like 14 to 30 days.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's gonna
Like
make 40 days and something?
Like say you were gonna buy like a fucking phone case, and it was taking 30 days to get to you. Would you fuck me
Sure,
over?
the next
that,
iPhone will be out by the time you
Exactly.
get it.
Yeah. It's such stupid shit.
It is ridiculous.
I think it's different for like Americans because there's probably big massive warehouses and stuff that do it, but like it's not as easy as people make out.
Yeah, especially here, like you're written on from like China or something and they put it in a boat.
And the Suez Canal happens. Oh no.
one of mine is, I'm trying to get the exact £6.50. £6.50. Let me just repeat that one more time, just to let that sink in. £6.50 for a pint. For a pint.
Where?
A pint of Guinness. I'm not going to name the establishment by name, but it rhymes with Schmalgorm. We were there the other night.
And it's shite.
We were there the other night. Look,
Worst pint I've ever had in my
worst pint I
life.
have. But like whenever I look back at the receipt, £6.50 for a pint of Guinness.
Yeah.
Was that in the restaurant?
Yeah. That's the ones we on the restaurant.
Oh my god.
The ones in the actual pub weren't as bad.
Yeah,
It honestly wasn't
yeah.
worth 50p. Like. I'd rather drink a can of Guinness out of the
That's
can.
what it
Like.
tasted like. Like
I
a can of
genuinely,
Guinness.
me and him were up. We were watching the football, and I brought a couple of cans of Guinness up.
Yeah.
I had a nicer pint of Guinness out of the can. Though,
It's
if I want to be honest. And the 4 cans cost me £6.
Yeah. It wasn't worth 50p that Guinness. Like. I
Sort your
think that
life
was
out,
one of the
like.
first drinks haven't finished. Like.
Do you send it back? Like?
I wouldn't
Should we
even.
have sent it back?
Probably should. I like.
I think with them sort of places, you're paying for the establishment, but like you're paying for the place that you're dining in. You're paying almost like a tax or a subsidy to basically be like you're dining here, therefore you should pay more. And if it's if it's a place that offers less in terms of like the actual atmosphere and stuff, then it ends up being cheaper just to try and pull people in. But I think it's regards to like where we were in particular was in around the hotel. And if you're just wanting to go out for a few drinks and you're staying in the hotel, you're going to go there anyway. There's not really, like it's a complex.
I think you can
so
get away
kinda,
from it in Ballymena because it's probably the nicest place by far.
Yeah, 100%. Another one of yours, Shay.
No, shade paints. Oh yeah. So my next one is Pringles cans.
Why?
Is yours a big hands?
Yeah.
Have you ever? I just don't buy Pringles because of this, because I can't reach my hand inside.
You need to tip them out, like.
No, because then they all come fucking falling out.
When they're at the top.
You don't tip them out into your head.
You can get a couple from the top, like, but after that, it's just like
once you get
no
down
game, like.
mid Pringle pot,
You should give her a wee.
or just get the small pots.
I want to be able to reach in and just grab one, like, but you can't because your hands are too big. Like. You can't pour them out; they just break.
Have you seen these ones now where it's like this thing that you put in between your fingers?
It's like what's it still?
I mean, the wee person's just sitting typing away, and then they're like, crisp.
It's like one of those what do you call the craft videos?
A 5-minute craft.
It's literally like something they've made on that. Like,
There's
it's like
definitely
so
someone
ridiculous.
making a bag of money off them as well. Like that's probably a drop shipping store. Like.
What do they call finger chopsticks or something?
Hand jobs.
Hand jobs. You can't drop ship hand jobs. That's prostitution.
It's 3 months wait on hand job.
I see a few you've got on this list, Tommy, which is concerning me because I feel like I'm going to be highlighted for being a culprit of one of these.
Okay. Right. Which one's this? What else have I got? People who chew loudly.
I know that's a pet peeve of yours.
Like people, and it's like like it could be bread or like a potato,
Like
a
slapping
mashed
it round
potato.
their mouth, like.
Not even just chewing, like stuff that shouldn't make an out noise.
I
And
know.
you're like, what the fuck?
I noticed this the other day. My uncle does this where it's like they sit and eating, and I think he goes into like a bit of a sort of daydream, and he starts like that there.
Yeah.
But then,
Why?
like, I don't know. It must just people don't understand. Like, I know one thing that mom always gets at me about is like I drink too loud. Like where I'll like drink something, then I'll go like, and gulp it. But like it's just because I'm trying to.
You're like a fucking kid running in from playing outside. Drinking like 6 seconds.
That wouldn't bother me at all, really.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was in like a really quiet room with someone, but like if you're sitting at a table with a couple of people and someone's chewing loudly, like don't really care
But
because
it's
it's conversation.
You're so laid
It's when it's
back.
quiet, like, and then
You're so chill.
when I pick
Yeah.
up on it, it's like I can't stop.
Like if someone was lying in bed beside you or something and they were sitting chewing shit like that.
I don't
And you're
mind
trying to go to
if,
sleep.
if
Yeah.
like the TV's on.
Oh,
and
if there's
but you
background
have
noise,
to
it's
you have
fine,
to
like.
turn it up. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just a
I like
patty
saw it.
cunt.
I like
What?
You're just a patty cunt.
you're sitting there
That's just
watching
who I
like
am.
Corey EastEnders, and you look over.
Corey or EastEnders, Jesus Christ. You're getting gnarled, hey?
One of mine was, and I think it kind of relates back to what you were saying about the whole starting a side hustle. And I feel like it's this sort of toxic thing that TikTok keeps pushing, and the TikTok algorithm loves it because I feel like it's like inspiring people to like be better. These unrealistic day in the lives piss me off. And good night to everyone but you people who do this.
sick,
There
yeah.
is absolutely categorically no way that you're waking up in the morning, and it's like I'm even talking about, you ever seen, there's one fella in particular wakes up,
Tom Smith.
and it's that whole he doesn't wake up, he
He's
doesn't
on a
go to
movie.
sleep.
He's on a movie set and
He's
all that.
like, it's
He
this
goes to
one,
bed at 3 and wakes up at 2.
it's this one it's this one where it's like was it pop a couple pills in the daytime, that sound, but then there's like this guy and he flaffs his bed sheet, and then he walks over and he karate chops his pillows, and then the next minute he's ironing his bed sheets. He like irons his bed sheets to get the kinks out of it, and it's like Sunday morning reset, come with me, and it's like ironing the bed sheets, and then they turn around and they take this magical spray and just spray it up into the air, and then they sit and watch it as it floats down, and then they're in the bathroom doing this here and all, and you're like, what? Who has
Face routine and all.
I woke up this morning and literally flung myself out of bed, pulled on my gym gear and slogged out the door.
Yeah.
Forgot my lunch and everything.
He's doing all that whole routine, and the next thing he looks at his watch, it's like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But it's not even
Oh,
that.
time to go to bed now.
It's the setting the phone up and or the camera
Yeah.
up to do it. Because it's like, getting out of bed. But he's got out of bed, set up his
Yeah.
phone, then videoed himself getting out of bed,
Yeah.
then making the bed.
There is one fellow over here. I think he does a lot of the Project 50 stuff. I forget his name. It'll come to me after this, guarantee. But
Colin Rice, isn't it?
that's him. But he
Project
actually
50.
does good ones. I enjoy watching
But
his ones
his are
because
realistic. Like,
yeah, because he's like, this morning I woke up at 5, and you're like, doable. Doable. Like, go to the gym. Like, if you need to fit it in, us three are just lazy so-and-sos that couldn't, like, we have work at 9. It's like, what do you mean get up at 5 to go to the gym?
And there's people like day in the life, wake up, have breakfast, went into town, went shopping, got a few bits.
When do you work?
And then I got lunch here, and then I went home, and then
I made myself an acai bowl.
just like,
Hen, what the heck?
So like, maybe it's just jealousy because we actually have to go to work. But it's like, could you imagine making the day in the life of you? Like, woke up just in time to get in for work, went to work, came home, had dinner, watched TV, went to bed.
Do you want me to tell you what happened the day in my life today? I woke up. Now, to be fair, got up early. Like, at that part of the day I conquered. The rest of the day just was downhill. I woke up this morning at 5:45, left the house at 6, gym session 6:15. That took me to 7:15. Left Ballymena 7:30, up to work, got a shower and work. See, when I got up to work, had a lovely drive up, listened to the Two Johnnies podcast and all that there. Get into work, opened up my bag with all like I was getting showered and work, opened up my bag with all like my, you're gonna laugh, toiletries in terms of like my shower gel and stuff. My flipping links burst all over my bag.
Nice.
Just this big sticky gunk of flipping goo. I had to scrape it off to wash myself.
No way. You just
Imagine me, come with me in a day in the life of a regular guy.
But that
who
would have been
works
good
9
content.
to 5.
Started off, you could have done like a wee, you getting out of bed, then you could have videoed yourself driving to the gym, then you in the gym doing some weights.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting if we all did that, like a realistic day in the life, like of what we actually done.
Mine would be so shit.
Mine yesterday would have been like, got up, went to work, came home from work, sat in bed for an hour, fell asleep.
Ours would have been
missed.
Ours would have been, went on the call to discuss the podcast. We had it on Shay for half an hour. Tommy looked on Snap Maps to see where Shay was, realised he hadn't been on in 3 hours, went, oh, he's asleep.
I literally looked in Snap Maps and it was like where Shay works, and it was like active 3 hours ago, and this is at like 9 o'clock, and I was like, he is
let us be the voice of reason right now. If you're listening to this podcast and you watch that crap on TikTok and you're like, you know what, if it inspires you to do better with your life, fair play. But let me make one thing very clear. There is not one person on this earth I could guarantee they're not getting up at 5:30 every morning to make themselves acai bowls and do like cold water plunges. It's just not, you can't sustain
but
that.
But how much time do they spend videoing that? And when do they edit these videos?
Exactly.
When do they edit them?
Yeah.
It's like them getting into bed and it's like, nah, there's at least an hour there you sat editing that video and picking the right song and doing this. We just need to get off our phones.
No good night for you. No good night for you.
A bad night.
Shay, any other ones you have?
Another one is when you FaceTime someone and they say it's your Wi-Fi that's the problem.
But it usually is your Wi-Fi.
Me?
You're to enter that shade.
It is, yeah, but you still have to fight your corner. Like. You still have to be like, no, I don't think it's me.
You suddenly get like 10 meg. You're like,
it's always the other person's like, no matter what, you just have to fight your corner. Like. But
I love it.
But it's more phone calls, and it's like, oh, you broke up there. And you're like, nah, I think I lost you there. You must have bad signal.
Yeah.
No. You have bad signal.
Or like, see whenever people ring you or you ring someone and they answer the call and they sit and chat away, but you know they're doing something in the background. Like, I rung Lucinda the other day and she was unpacking the dishwasher and I was trying to have a serious conversation like with like solicitor stuff, and I was like, so she's emailed and asked for this, and it bang, clatter, flipping knives and forks smacking off each other, and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm listening to you, I'm just emptying the dishwasher. And I'm like, you're not listening to me.
Liar.
You
know what does my head on? When you're on the phone with someone and you break up and the call ends and then you ring each other back at the same time and
then you get the wee message.
You can't get it and you're like, oh, and then it happens like 3 times in a row and then you don't ring them then and they don't ring you and you're like,
and then you ring them after 2 minutes and they're like, yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, I'm just at the house here. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Just thinking with regards to the internet thing the other night, like a couple of weeks ago, me and Thomas were playing Rocket League and I went for a ball and completely like lagged because of my crap internet.
Sure.
I turned around and I was like, oh, the game lagged on me, and then Thomas was like, it might have something to do with your 203 ping, and I was like,
like 240 ping.
Actually, I was playing Rusty all night and like I hit 6,000 ping. I have never seen that before in my life. Like,
it's like dial up internet speeds.
Fucking ridiculous. But Aoife's phone does this thing, right? don't know, it's not nothing to do with the internet. Because it happens whenever she phone calls you.
Yeah.
So whenever she's speaking, she'd be like talking away, and the next thing it would just go like, and then you'd hear the end of a sentence. Like her whole sentence would cut out, or speaker or something's fucked on her phone. But every time if we're FaceTiming, it's always like she says something and it just cuts out.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at her and I'll be like, what? And then she says it again and it cuts out again. And then I'm like, what? And then she's like, how can you hear me? It's like, it's your fault.
You get
And
you get rowdy so easy.
and she's like, it's your fucking internet. I'm like, no, it's your fucking speaker on your phone. Like, it's broke. Like. But it's always, you always have to blame the internet.
I just get to
So
say, can you not hear me? No.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Aye, you can hear me.
Hello,
it's always that like last. Oh, so you can hear me.
And then they start talking like, oh.
Just one that came off to my head, like on the top of my head, people who start voice messages with, I'm just sending you a wee voice message here because it's quicker than typing.
You do that, do you not?
No, I don't. I've stopped doing that.
I definitely
Yeah.
do that, no.
But Thomas does it.
Tommy goes, yeah, so I was just going to send you a voice message here because
Thomas will send you a voice message, 3 of them, which are like 1 minute and 40 seconds long. But Tommy will be like, Thomas has been talking to someone like a guest or something for the podcast, or like he'll bump into someone in town or something, and they'll like recognize him from the podcast, and then Thomas will message in and be like, so it was just in Centra there, and I was on my way up to the till, and I was looking at a few vapes and stuff, and
Definitely
then
never happened.
and
ever.
then the girl beside me was like, oh my days, are you Thomas from that Irish Crime podcast? You're like, you look at it, it's like 1 minute and 53 seconds in, and you could literally have just typed, got recognised.
That didn't even happen, but okay.
You've got a few ones there.
I might put this into one. People who leave the door open, like when someone comes into the room, and if you're watching TV and they open the door, you had the door closed. You want it to be quiet. You want to be at privacy. They come in, open the door, and they're like, right, okay, whatever. Leave the door open.
yeah,
And then there's the people who leave the light on. Like they come in and they'll be like looking for something, and they'll turn on the light, and then they'll just walk out.
I'll put some so
And you're like, especially when you have to get up to turn it off,
Yeah.
yeah.
and you're shouting.
You all cozy and all in bed,
Yeah.
and we
And you're
movie
like,
on. Like.
oh,
Do you know what's even worse
And then they all,
than that? On top of that, is whenever you say to them on the way out, close the door, and they pull the door over behind them, but it doesn't
click.
Oh,
I was about to say
no.
that.
It's like, fuck's sake, the door's closed, but still have to fucking get up
This
anyway and
happened
close
to
it.
me
Like.
the other day working from home. My dad came in and was like, I'm just taking the dog out to walk here. There's a delivery coming. Could you keep an eye on the front door in case someone rings it? And I said, yeah, no bother. Then he like just tugged the door hard enough for it to like close, but it didn't click.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, shut that door. And he's like, I did. And I'm like, no, you didn't.
no, I didn't get the satisfying click.
I didn't get the
And
click.
you're like, just go. I'll do it myself.
The room did not feel airtight.
And that's my room's like so warm whenever the door's closed, and like because it's a new part of the house. So once it's open,
big flex.
once it's open, you
I
can
live in the
feel the
new
cold air
quarters.
coming in there. It's so annoying.
One of mine, and I think everybody can relate to this: the Ticketmaster queues.
They're a scam. They're a scam.
I
Actually,
swear.
they're awful
How
tight.
bad was it for you got Harry Styles tickets? And I was like, lad,
I think my mom actually got them.
lad, there is no chance of me not getting these. I'll be on. I got on the queue at like 10 to 10, and it was like, your number 78,500 in the queue.
There's a queue for the queue.
The Hoors made me wait from 78,500 all the way down. Got to like 300, and it was like, you're next. And I was like, my wee man was running, and I was like, oh lad, he's sucking diesel here. Fit straight in. Unfortunately, there are no seats available.
Yeah. Why did you make me wait that long?
They should just tell you.
I done the exact same. My sister looking Luke Holmes tickets.
Yeah.
So she had like all of us like looking
Big
for them.
country boy.
And she had like all of us looking for them. I was sitting and working. I was like on early enough. And
Yeah.
I was saying it was like 20,000 in the queue or something like that. And I waited. I think I went half an hour. Like it was actually about, I think what was it released at like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock?
10, I think.
Yeah, it was like 10:30. I was sitting there waiting. And I was like 200 left, 100 left, bang, one left. You're next in the queue. Got into the queue and I was like, oh, remaining seats. And it was like fucking way up at the top at the back. There was like one seat left. You couldn't even get another seat beside it. Like.
Was it Crow Park?
The what do you call the one in Dublin?
3 Arena.
3 Arena. It was like a seat at the back on its own. Like.
Yeah.
And there was
Send your sister on her own. No,
Just
be like,
go on,
"Where
anyway."
you fucking
There
go?"
seems to be a thing over here with Ticketmaster, especially for pre-sale, where they always manage to mess up like Northern Ireland or Ireland tickets, particularly Northern Ireland, because I think Ticketmaster, getting maybe political here, think that if it's a Northern Ireland event, it's an Ireland event, where in actual fact it's on Ticketmaster, it's part of like the UK, but like I don't really know what it's all.
Because there's a separate Ticketmaster
But like,
Ireland.
yeah,
and all.
this tweet goes to, and I very rarely tweet, but I think this tweet goes to sum up my relationship with Ticketmaster. Message them, didn't message them, tweeted them at Ticketmaster UK, at Ticketmaster Ireland. Seems to be an issue with gang of used pre-sale tickets. Same thing happened yesterday with Marcus Mumford. And they turned around and they were like, "Hi,
Is there ever a fucking concert that you don't buy tickets
Yeah.
to?
How are you not sick of him?
And then the next,
oh my god!
And then the next minute, they had the audacity then to reply to me. And
Did they?
oh yeah, Ticketmaster suddenly became IT experts, and they were like, "Hi Ross, please clear your cache/cookies and try again." I was like, "I've cleared all the cookies. Pass
The
me
cupboards are
pass,
empty."
pass me a tall glass of milk so I can scram these cookies." I was like, literally sent a screenshot and goes, "Same result." Full stop. So then they must have
Did they
realized.
reply?
They goes, "Hi, please follow us. Thanks." And I went, "Okay." Full stop. Followed. Full stop. I'll cut over to the messages. So,
What the fuck is going
"Hi,
on?
we can take the can we take the pre-sale link that you're following?" So I sent them the pre-sale link, and I was like, "I'm trying to get I'm trying to get access to the Limelight show for Belfast. Hi, this will take you straight through to the link." Literally sent me the same link that I was having the issue with, and I replied and I goes, "That's for Dublin. It's the Belfast show I'm trying to get." And then followed it up with another message because they didn't reply. Like 10 minutes later, I goes, "To be clear, I'm not looking for Dublin. It's Belfast." Then they sent me one, and it was like, they just sent me a link, and then I just replied and goes, "That worked. Thumbs up."
I know you're going to say you got free tickets or something.
No, like, just like,
Do you know what it is?
I
Didn't
hate
hear
that.
from Ballina.
I hate that though.
know.
Like, I'm having an issue with your website. Have you tried clearing your cache and cookies? There's nothing wrong with cache and cookies.
My cash and cookies alone.
My cache and cookies are intact. Like,
never
I don't
an
need to
issue.
clear. And then you end up clearing stuff, and then all your saved passwords go. The same result. Like.
Just ruining your
Logs
life.
you out of Ticketmaster and all. The fuck's my password? now?
Ticketmaster just cut me some
I'm
slack.
gonna reset your password now.
Please.
Would you like to reset your
Ticketmaster, more like ticket amateurs. Am I right?
You tell them,
No.
but you should
Sorry.
make a clip of this and send it to them on whatever you do in Twitter.
Yeah,
Tweet it to them.
I don't really tweet, to be honest with you, but that was the only way I knew I could get through to them.
Such a wee Karen now.
Yeah,
How many times have you seen Mumford and Sons now?
I don't know. I can't honestly.
Must be double digits, though.
It's not double digits. Close, but
Triple digits.
no. I feel like I don't know.
Not yet.
Yeah, 8 times. Yeah, probably 8 times, 9 times.
Is it 10?
No, it's not 10.
Oh my god.
It's about to be 10 once
What?
you get
Like
these
why?
tickets.
Why do you keep going back? Like why?
You should play all the same songs, huh?
Yeah.
Nothing makes me more happier than to be standing listening to live music of people that I like.
But you only go to see the one person.
Is it Mumford and Sons concert you're going to now, or is it?
No,
Marcus
it's just
Mumford?
Marcus Mumford releasing his new album.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
so dedicated. But then I suppose
How many times have you been to see Sam Fender?
Once.
How many times have you tried to get tickets?
Well, he was meant to play in Belfast
Yeah.
and had tickets for it,
Then he cancelled.
and he cancelled.
Then we had another venue booked, and
And then he
cancelled
was
it.
meant to support the Killers, but we were already going to see him in Dublin, and
yeah.
we were going to see the Killers, and he was supporting. And then he dropped out of it.
It's just not meant to be.
Like, Sam, come on,
So did I know.
wise up, like. Yeah, I suppose I
I
could
thought
ask
you
you,
were
how
gonna
many
go next
times
one.
have you seen Ryan McMullen?
Ryan.
6.
Fuck me.
See that? I'm not bad.
See, like,
I'm not bad.
Don't fucking cry.
Like,
Fuck me.
Good night
It's
to
just a
everybody.
conversation.
Good night to everybody, bar the judgment I'm getting here. Like.
5-1 was cancelled actually when we were there. I don't know.
Marcus
Was that the one on Derry?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Scammed.
Yeah. And one of them was an
Sure,
intimate gig, so that doesn't count.
we
like.
said the other night to Shay, what was it? Or was it Shay? It was you, Andy. We were sitting and me and Tommy was like, we're surprised we weren't. We were surprised you weren't to that Ryan McMullen gig. And the both of them literally looked at each other and went, when? Where? Was Ryan McMullen? When was he playing?
I think them tickets were released like a year ago, and we got fucking other ones and that were cancelled.
I've got one more here.
Shit.
People who always relay the conversation back to themselves.
What do you mean relay back to?
So like you'll be saying something, like you could be like, oh, I was in town the other day and I was in, I don't know, I was in Victoria Square. Oh, I was in Victoria Square the other day and I went to the shop.
Oh, like
and
sort
I
of
done
trying
this.
one batter you?
Yeah, like sort of like trying to one up you, but it's like you're in the middle of telling a story and you're like, oh, you went into Victoria Square the other day to go to like JD Sports or something.
Yeah.
And before you even get to JD Sports, you're like, oh, I was in Victoria Square the other day.
Yeah,
And this is what happened. And they just go on one, and then by the time they're done, you're sort of like, I don't want to speak
fuck
anymore.
this.
Anyway, 10 minutes later. Anyway, what were you saying?
Yeah.
I thought you
What were
meant like
saying?
to repeat the question after you said it.
And then there's ones like they'll try to one up you, like, where they'll be like, you'll be like, I don't know.
Oh, I was in Dublin shopping last week.
I was in London shopping. I was in Paris
I was
shopping
in
last week.
Selfridges last week.
I was in fucking New York. Where were you?
Who does this to you?
Don't want to name names.
I would say
It's
I've
not-
probably done it a few times
It's
on you.
it's not you.
I think I do
It's
it
not
too
you that I
sometimes.
have in mind. Like.
Is it me?
No, it's definitely not you. You fucking birdie speak. Like.
I feel like there's
I think
just
that was a positive,
just
like.
people. I don't. There's people who would do that as a selfish thing, and then there's other people who are just so hyperactive where they're just like they need to continually be engaging.
And it's like people who don't, they're not listening to what you're saying. Like you could be
Yeah.
talking to someone else, and then they pipe up, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh," it just triggers them, and they're like, "Oh, I have a good story about that, so I'm going to interrupt you and tell the
Yeah.
story."
If you told me you were shopping, I'd just be like, yeah.
Shop,
Shopping's good.
love a bit of shopping. That's my
Love it.
that's my list done.
Nice.
Any more, Shay?
I have one more, but it's a bit shit, but I'll shout it in here. So when you try and grab a piece of paper off the ground, but it's too thin to get your fingers under it, so you just keep clawing at it until it gets wrinkled, and it's supposed to be a professional document that just gets wrinkled.
Wow.
Has that never happened to you?
Yeah, it's happened to me with paper in general.
That's really nice. And I do it sometimes whenever like sending out plans, and like you drop like an A4 page or something on the ground, and you just like reach over just quickly to pick it up, and you end up fucking scrumpling it in your hand. And it's like, I can't send this out because it's a fucking mess, so I have to go and print a new one.
Yeah. Lad, do you know what? The same thing that's annoying me at the moment, that SD card that we use for recording this podcast.
Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know, to record the podcast, we obviously use SD cards, and we have like a little box that sits on the table, which we put the SD cards in for safe storage for Shay to go home and like edit the podcast.
Yeah.
But there's one SD card in particular, and every single week it's that 64 gigabyte one that goes in
broken
the one that we've put sellotape around because we just can't afford to buy another SD
So
card
annoying.
because no one will sponsor the podcast. And
Price of help,
but
please.
yeah, like every day Thomas is like, pass me that SD card there, and I'm like, and then I'm trying to take it off, and you're nearly ripping the front off, and then he goes, "Oh my god, just give me it!" And then he flicks at it for 5 minutes, and then he's
Take me
like,
long to get it out.
Anyway, that's what she did.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's broken. Fucking this cunt floating about. Yeah, I always try and like whenever I'm taking all the footage off them, my thing's like up here to plug them into. And I just be like plug them all in, and you know when you get to that one, it just like splits, and it's like.
it needs a wee bit more loving.
It's like you're going down a hole with your legs closed, like tight together, but that one's like, oh, I'm going to open my legs. Like. So like you're trying to get into a hole with your legs open more.
Yeah.
So like, no, I'll just close your legs.
So just close it. Just get it.
Fuck's sake.
Get it up, you may.
Someone just send us an SD card. So that was fun.
Sandisk, if you're listening to this. I would even go as far as saying Kingston. If you're listening to this, you're a bit bored B-Tech, but we'll take you.
We'll take you all night.
Let's go.
I think that'll end it there. That was a good session of just ranting. Let us know in the comment section of the podcast, or DM us, or send us an email or something. Just get in touch if you're listening to this right now, and you think to yourself, God, there's one thing or one person or one scenario or one company that I would love to not wish a good night. Then let us know. We'd love to hear it, and maybe we'll read them out in some of the upcoming episodes. End of that main segment there, boys. Chev, you got a secret surprise?
No.
Okay. That was Shay's secret surprise. Was no surprise. Maybe go on to Ross's rants then. I feel like this is just a ranting podcast. But I actually wanted to talk one thing that I feel like we're all sort of here. Don't both of you don't be concentrating or anything. Just sit on your phones.
I did have one, but I didn't copy and paste it in.
Yeah.
It was a story. Missed that one.
Anyway, my rant this week. These dark evenings. I know I sound like an absolute.
Sure.
I know I sound like an absolute oil geezer when I'm saying this.
People who don't deserve a good night's sleep are people who go to you. Oh, sure, there's no stretch in the evenings now.
So you get nothing done
the
these
only
dark
reason,
evenings.
the only reason why I feel like when you're like at work and stuff and you're busy,
Do you work outside?
you don't really notice it because like you're away in the mornings. But like the other night, for example, I was working from home the other day. Got up, it was dark. Not even. I think it was like 4. I got up to go grab a coffee. It's dark outside.
Oh,
There's not a queer stretch in these evenings anymore. Like.
no stress at all.
But like, what's your thoughts? Are you bothered by it or not?
This is why I fell asleep last night.
Yeah,
Actually, it is like. Because I get home from work and I was like, I used to get home from work and be like, oh, I'll go to the gym, it's still bright outside.
yeah.
But then I got home and it was so dark and I was like, fuck, it feels like it's like 10 o'clock at night. So I just lay down for a wee while.
Yeah.
And was out. I feel like I can't stay awake as longer whenever it's dark at night. Like,
So
or in the evenings.
I actually did sort of Google the good / bad side of dark evenings the other day, and one of the good points that someone made was whenever you get home from work, the dark evenings actually like make it easier to chill, like relax, like sort of switch off from work because it's dark outside. When it's light, your brain automatically thinks it's still light outside. I need to be productive.
Yeah.
I need light. I'm making side hustles.
Yeah,
we need to be making side hustles. Like, how can we do this in the dark?
Exactly. So
No
like
drop shipping for you.
there is a good side to the dark evenings, but then the bad side is
The dark
you
side.
can almost feel a bit unmotivated.
But then in the long evenings, it's warmer outside in the evenings and it's sunny. Whereas now it's cold. Would you really be going out anyway?
A chill gets you, boy. I'll cut you.
Because you need to layer up, hey.
I'm down.
I quite like the dark evenings. Like, going in
You
the
just
winter,
love the darkness, don't you?
chilling.
They're nice around Christmas and stuff whenever you're off, like. But whenever you're actually trying to get motivated to do work and stuff,
Like,
it's just.
what about like, you can't just make that comment and then not come back to it. Like, what is your why do you like the dark evenings?
I think it's just what you said about it just being like chill.
You can wank outside.
Oh my goodness, shit. That is disgusting.
Doing
You'd
things
start
under
at
the
5 o'clock now.
doing things under the cover of darkness, like. But why like just because it helps you? But like whenever you leave work at 5, bear in mind you have quite a short walk to work. But do you not be getting out and being like, God, I prefer to make this walk home in the light?
Why?
I don't know.
Why does it bother you so much?
I'm not saying it bothers me. I'm
Sounds
just trying
like
to.
it does.
I think
You've
it's
just
worse.
made a rant. You just sort of made
I
a
just said I
statement.
like the dark evenings. It's like they have to have this big definitive reason. and a way.
Probably worse for us because we live in the country.
The country.
Whereas he's
And
in the
there's
city,
scary
so
boys
he's
knocking
just
about.
City lights.
City
No
lights,
street lights out around
bright
it.
lights, the concrete jungle of Belfast.
Exactly.
My dream tomato.
Yeah. I look up and I see stars, but like 1,000 stars, I see 1,000 possibilities. Jesus.
What is happening?
As he walks home. No, fair. It was just something that could sort of. I found myself being like that the other day, where I was like, God, like, where's the evenings go?
Have you had that conversation with many people in the shops in Boston yet? Has it started?
We're all every
that's a
morning
good-
going in there. Yes, fuck, it was dark this morning, wasn't it? Hey? Nippy enough.
That
No.
is a thing up in Ballymena. isn't it?
Yeah,
Maybe
like
like-
100%. Like, it's less like, oh, we're stretching them evenings. Good to see it.
I went out to the car
more
this
after.
morning, fucking windscreen froze over.
Oh, I'm not excited for that though.
Yeah.
Mine was about to freeze this morning, only I got her in time.
Has
But
anybody, a bit of a side one, has anybody with regards to like the frozen windscreen ever told you, God, you can't be pouring a kettle on your windscreen because it'll crack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
It only, I think it's only a thing if there's a chip in your window.
No, it's whenever like a cold surface is if a hot thing touches a cold surface, it like makes the ice expand rapidly, so it can cause it to crack.
Nice.
Oh, fun facts for sure.
Science
It is
with
actually
Shay.
true, but it's very
That should be a new
unlikely
segment.
unless you're pouring like fucking boiling hot water on it. Like if it's warm, like it'd be grand. Wouldn't worry about it. Like.
I seen a video not too long ago where it was this girl and she was like, I don't pour boiling water on my windscreen anymore. She like fills a hot water bottle, like like a plastic, like a
who has time to
rubber.
do that?
She fills like a hot water bottle up and just like rubs it up and down her windscreen.
I bet she takes videos of herself and
Shows
she
the
gets
tray.
ready every day.
Day in my life.
Day in my life. I make up in the morning.
So I would grab my windscreen defroster, which I prepped last night.
Warmed the bottle and all, like, kept it on the heater overnight so it's extra warm.
Yeah.
Another thing, like whenever you can't put like boiling hot water in a glass because it smashes it.
Yeah.
The glass will smash.
Yes.
Same sort of thing. But do you know
You can put boiling hot water in a mug.
you can put but it's not made of glass.
It is.
A mug is not made of glass.
What's
It's like
it made
clay.
of?
It's like fired clay or porcelain.
Porcelain,
A mug. Do you not know the difference in a mug and a glass?
He thought he done you there.
You can get glass.
Hey.
You can get glass mugs.
Yeah, you can, but they're made of like extra.
Hold on. Hold on here.
Hold on.
Who's laughing now? Not me.
But the next part of this thing I was about to explain to you is how they can do that.
But
So,
you didn't. You just
they
tried to
can
make a
have-
fool out of me.
They can have glass mugs, but they have to put a piece of metal in them. So if you're making like a hot whiskey or something,
Also, it conducts.
What the fuck is going on? How do you know this shit? Like,
I'll just do.
it's such a rod, isn't it? You definitely
Yeah.
watch YouTube videos and shit like this.
Don't worry about it.
She definitely clicked on a YouTube video the other night. 10 facts about your mug you didn't know.
So if you're making a hot whiskey, obviously you have to pour boiling hot water under a glass. So what you
Yes.
do is put the spoon in to stop the glass from cracking. But the same thing happens on an airplane. So if next time you go on an airplane, look at the window, there's a tiny wee piece of metal between the glass to stop it from shattering whenever you
Is
go up
it
into the
not
cold.
like plastic?
I think it is glass.
I think it's plastic.
No, I'm pretty sure it's glass because whenever you go up in the air, that wee piece of metal stops it from shattering whenever you hit the.
Plastic will probably still crack as well. That's probably why they have the metal.
Like,
Because it's so cold in the air and it's so warm inside the cabin to stop the thing. The
imagine
piece of
you
metal.
being single now and going out for like a drink with a girl.
I'd
And
be
she
going out for a
she
drink.
orders a hot whiskey and you're like, fun fact.
Yeah, I'd be going out for a drink with one girl, and then the next thing, by the end of the night, there'd be like 50 girls around me just so engulfed in what I'm saying because it's
Shit
so
in the
interesting.
Fucking glass.
Next time you're on an airplane, look for it. Telling you.
Starts with
It's like
a
a
whiskey
wee-
glass and moves on to the pint glass. Did you know this?
Go fucking.
I feel like there's no better way to end this podcast than with that fact. So if you feel educated, be sure to subscribe.
You learn
Come
something
back
new,
for
yeah.
more content every week.
Subscribe, like.
Subscribe, yeah, share. Thank you very, very much for listening, and we will catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.